Good evening, and thank you on behalf of the Buckland admin team for allowing me tonight to talk to the board members in regard to religion in schools. Tonight, the purpose of me being here to present to you is just to kind of explain the laws and the guidelines and the regulations of religion and religious expression in our school. And I want to start out by talking about the laws that are currently in place. And this came from the U.S. Department of Education article printed in 2020. Section 8524A comes from the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965, and that just protects prayer in public school. And Section B requires that schools do not have a policy that prevents or denies participation for students to pray in our public schools. Section 9528 is the certification process, and that just states that the schools by October 1st must certify and sign off that we do not deny participation for students to practice prayer in school. We're allowing that, and all of those things we are currently in compliance with. What does this mean for Buckland education? Prayer during school is allowed during non-instruction time. So students may pray when they're not engaged in school activities or instruction led by the teacher. They may read their Bibles, they may read other literature that pertains to religion. The teachers cannot discriminate against students because of their religious perspectives. And organized prayer groups can also happen at school as long as they are not organized by the teachers or by the administrative or staff. The students must organize those prayer groups. And the only one we have right now in our school is See You at the Pole. And that happens in the fall, but the students are the ones who organize that and advertise that. And as the school, we must give access to our facilities to all groups, not just religious groups, but to all groups without discrimination. So if we allow the 4-H group to come in and use our facilities, therefore we must also allow for the religious groups to use the facility also. And that's the same thing with advertisements. So if we allow the 4-H to use our social media or our newspaper, school newspaper, or the sign outside for advertising, then we cannot discriminate against any other groups, whether they be religious or non-religious. We can't discriminate against them either. As far as teachers, admin, and employees, we cannot take part in the religious activities during our workday, but we can participate in religious prayer and activities during our breaks, our lunch break, before school, after school, of those sorts. If a teacher wants to attend See You at the Pole, that is also okay, as long as at 7:45, which is when our contract time starts, then the teachers and the employees of USD 459 need to not participate in the activity during our contract day. If the school has a moment of silence during the school day, the students are free to pray silently, and they may also choose not to pray. Same thing with the Pledge of Allegiance. We can ask them to either participate or not to participate, depending on their beliefs and their values. Students may express their beliefs about religion in homework, artwork, and other written and oral assignments free from discrimination. Right now, during high school art class, we have some students who are painting crosses, and that is completely acceptable. It is not up to the teacher's discretion to tell them what they can and cannot paint, but they cannot be discriminated against for painting the cross that they chose to paint. School officials may not mandate or organize prayer at graduation or select speakers that would come in a religious speech or a religious manner. But however, if the seniors want to organize and plan for a prayer at the graduation, they may do so if they wish. As far as curriculum and literature, teaching about religion okay? Is okay, but it is not okay to teach students what to believe and what to think. So schools may provide religious instruction, but they can't teach about religion. They can teach about religion. So, for example, if they are referencing a biblical time, they may get out the Bible and use that as a reference piece. Bible as literature, including lessons about a role of religion and religious institutions in history, or comparative religion. So if they're comparing two different kinds of religions, then a teacher can also do that. Holiday programs, and this would also encompass any holiday celebrations. Christmas themed music programs are not allowed, or Christmas parties are not allowed. Students should not be forced to sing or play music that offends them or their religious sensibilities. So the rights, I'm going to talk about the student rights, parent rights, and teachers' rights in conjunction with religion. Students may pray before meals and pray on the school grounds. Students may organize prayer groups, religious clubs before school, after school. Students may wear items that display their religious beliefs as long as they're not offensive or against the school dress code. Students may meet during lunchtime, recess, before school, after school, those kinds of things for religious groups, and that encompasses through the Equal Acts, right? As far as parent rights, parents have the rights to enroll their children in public or private schools. Parents may excuse students from classroom discussions and assignments for religious reasons. If there is an assignment about evolution or creation that is controversial to the parent and their beliefs, they may excuse their student and exempt them from that assignment. The teacher may request a different assignment, maybe an assignment worth equal to value points, but not specifically discussing those offensive topics. Parents have the right to opt out of classes devoted to sexuality and reproduction topics. Parents may excuse their students from school and religious ceremonies. Right now, we have a family who on Ash Wednesday is exempt and excused until they are done with their religious ceremonies. Teacher and admin rights. Off-duty school employees are free to exercise their religion however they wish. Teachers may disclose their religious identity. School employees may pray silently, individually at school while on duty. So if a teacher wants to pray during their lunchtime, they may do that. They may pray over their food or before a meal or before they get on a bus with a group of students, things like that, but they have to pray individually and silently. School employees are free to participate in religious clubs on their own after school hours. This assignment was very relevant to my current learning because it's very important for leaders to be up to date on laws and the regulations regarding religion and prayer in schools. I feel that is a lawsuit waiting to happen if we are not compliant and we don't know the laws and guidelines. I need to monitor and ensure that everyone is held accountable once they know the information and they have been explicitly taught the information. We need to make sure that we are holding them accountable, and so we can hold up our rights to protect the school, the staff, and our students. This assignment improved my understanding on religion in schools tremendously. It truly did. Prior to this research, for this module, I was unaware of the different court cases and the laws and the regulations, and I knew most of the information on a very surface level extent. I could not have told you the specific law numbers or the specific court cases that led to these laws, but I knew that the staff had rights and responsibilities regarding religion. Now I feel very confident being able to explain religion or knowing where to find most of the up-to-date information in regards to religion. This assignment has influenced decisions I will make as a future school leader because I have the knowledge of making sure my staff is compliant with the laws and regulations regarding religion. I will also ensure that my staff is aware of these guidelines to avoid any lawsuits. I think one of the important things is making sure our staff knows these laws and regulations and not just assuming just because I know as an admin and a leader what the laws and regulations are. A first-year teacher or even a veteran teacher who hasn't studied school law may not know these. So we have to make sure that our communication lines are always open and that they truly know what is expected of them. And here are my resources. Thank you very much.